When I was a kid, at 11, 12 years old, we don't have money. And we live in the same place that the other place, the younger places, because I live in Madeira and I look my family 3 months was hard. So very hard periods without the family.
Imagine
And
this. You're 11 years old. You leave your family behind on a small island called Madeira to chase a dream on the Portuguese mainland. You're alone, crying yourself to sleep night after night. No parents, no friends, just a football and a vision. Yet, through every tear, something inside you whispers, "Keep going." That voice isn't your coach. It's not your father. It's your own. The raw, inner drive that pushes you when no one else is watching. That's the foundation of Cristiano Ronaldo's story. A story not just of athletic greatness, but of psychological mastery. Cristiano Ronaldo isn't just a world-class footballer. He's the product of deliberate psychological conditioning, disciplined neurology, and powerful identity building. His success didn't come from luck, and it didn't just come from talent. It came from a mind designed to endure, to adapt, and to win. In this episode, we'll break down exactly how he became who he is, and why billions of people across the globe admire him, through the lens of psychology and neuroscience. Let's begin with his brain, quite literally. Neuroscientists refer to a phenomenon called goal-directed neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on focused repetition toward a meaningful objective. When Ronaldo trained, it wasn't random. He trained with purpose, every movement firing and strengthening neural pathways. Over time, his prefrontal cortex, the brain's center for planning, decision-making, and impulse control, became hyper-efficient. At the same time, the default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for wandering thoughts and distractions, quieted down. What others experienced as a constant battle between focus and temptation, Ronaldo had mastered into silence. He once said, "Talent is nothing without hard work." That line may sound simple, but it's deeply rooted in psychological research. Carol Dweck's concept of the growth mindset explains this perfectly. Believing that abilities can be developed leads to higher motivation, more resilience, and a greater chance of success. Ronaldo wasn't content being talented. He was obsessed with becoming better, always. That obsession also explains his relationship with one of the most powerful chemicals in the brain, dopamine. Most people associate dopamine with pleasure, but in neuroscience, dopamine is more accurately a signal of anticipated reward. It's what keeps us moving toward our goals. The difference is that the average person's dopamine peaks with short-term satisfaction, sugar, entertainment, validation. But Ronaldo trained his system to spike in response to long-term outcomes, winning a title, breaking a record, proving himself year after year. He was famous for refusing desserts, skipping nights out, and sacrificing comfort. Not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he was addicted to the outcome. Research on delayed gratification shows that individuals who can resist short-term pleasure in pursuit of long-term goals have more success in life, better health, and stronger habits. Ronaldo lived that principle every day. And yet, there's more to his success than just discipline. Ronaldo didn't rely on willpower. He built systems. Behavioral psychology tells us that habits are shaped through cue routine reward loops. Ronaldo's life is a masterclass in that loop. Wake up, train, eat with precision, rest, recover, visualize, repeat. It's not about waking up motivated. It's about waking up conditioned. His routines became part of his identity. He no longer asked himself, "Should I train today?" The question didn't exist. Training was who he was. That leads us to a deeper truth: identity-based behavior. Instead of acting in ways that align with how you feel, you act in ways that align with who you believe you are. For Ronaldo, identity wasn't built around being famous or rich. It was built around being relentless. And because that identity was reinforced by thousands of daily decisions, it became bulletproof. But success alone doesn't explain why Ronaldo is loved around the world. Why do people cry when they meet him? Why do children from Brazil to Bangladesh see him as a hero? The answer lies partly in mirror neurons. These are brain cells that activate both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing it. So when we watch Ronaldo sprint, score, or celebrate, our brains simulate that experience. Emotionally, we feel like we're in his shoes. It's not just admiration, it's a neurological connection. Then there's his story. From poverty to stardom, from underdog to icon, Ronaldo represents the hero archetype, a classic psychological figure that cultures across the world admire. But more than that, he represents authenticity. He cries. He talks about his mother with tears in his eyes. He gives credit to his teammates. He celebrates like a child. He wins, but never acts like he's finished. That raw emotion, especially in a sport filled with egos, is deeply humanizing. In psychology, authenticity creates emotional closeness. We like people who are real. Ronaldo is real. And that's why people feel connected to him, not just as a player, but as a person. At the heart of it all lies intrinsic motivation, the drive to act not for rewards or approval, but because the action itself feels aligned with who you are. According to self-determination theory, intrinsic motivation thrives when three psychological needs are met: autonomy, competence, and connection. Ronaldo hits all three. He controls his own path, he relentlessly seeks mastery, and he stays deeply connected to his fans, his family, and his mission. His perfectionism is another misunderstood piece. This isn't the toxic kind of perfectionism fueled by fear or insecurity. It's adaptive perfectionism, striving for excellence out of self-respect and purpose. It's not about looking good. It's about becoming everything he was meant to be. So what can we learn from him? First, your brain changes when your purpose is clear. Second, discipline isn't about restriction. It's about freedom from distraction. Third, motivation fades, but systems keep going. Fourth, building an identity around growth creates emotional strength. And finally, greatness isn't just about winning. It's about connection, humility, and resilience. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just lift trophies. He lifted people through his story, through his example, through his energy. He taught us that success is not about luck or shortcuts. It's about deliberate evolution. He is not a myth. He is the living result of neuroscience, psychology, and soul, combined in one man. And maybe the next story of greatness won't be about him. Maybe it'll be about you.